Here we go, guys. Ghost Lake Chuggles home map. Chuggles with the blue for this one, and Sithari in the red, unless I have team colors toggled. Doesn't really make a difference here. Okay, so Tatars. Obvious pick for Ghost Lake here. There's sheep last longer. They get effectively 150 food instead of 100 per sheep. Which in this case, Chuggles is now scouting the home base, should definitely get into the middle ASAP to snag some of the neutral sheep here. Something that Sithari is already on the way to do, I believe. So what do we do on Ghost Lake? We have gold on a hill here. That's a horrible placement for Chuggles. Main gold, not as bad. You could maybe tweak some walls a little bit out here to the side and back there, and you should be okay-ish. Then there's the woodlines to the sides, no problem to close off the base. All in all, pretty wallable map for Chuggles, maybe with some local walls in towards TC to just funnel any aggression into TC fire. Snagging some sheep in the middle as well, that's already 3 extra sheep. Send them home, dude. And looking for some more. Just missed those though. There's quite a few to be taken. There's some in the fog of war there and some to the left. And Sithari doesn't seem to mind losing those sheep in the middle here. Isn't really scouting the middle for the time being. Scouting the sides of the map instead to see some resources up on the hill here. Not ideal either, but you could wall this side. Goes for the sheep in the back here instead of hunting for the middle ones. So Chuggles gets 6 or 7 extra sheep here already. Goes for the boar up on the hill here. That's scary with an unloomed villager, but will hopefully be fine here. Oh, and gold behind the woodland here. Boar behind the woodland. That's not a beautiful layout to see here, unfortunately. But maps are maps. I don't know if they have restarts or not. But in any case, it's probably past the restart mark soon enough anyway. Here comes some preemptive walling on the hill using a house here as a wall foundation. Sithari now also in the middle to snag some sheep as well. So what will Tatars do here? I mean, looking at Sithari's map, it's a lot more open than Chuggles' side. Would especially favor a mobile scout opening here in my opinion. Arguably, you could also do an early drush with Tatars here and hit the berries in the forward here and exploit the fact that the base is so exposed. Berbers, more of a cavalry civ exclusively, have cheaper cavalry from Castle Age onwards and will likely go scouts into knights and or camels here. Yep, so 3 on wood for Sithari, definitely strengthening my theories about a scouts opening here. Sithari seems worried about an enemy forward here as well. There's a bit of scouts fighting in the middle, but Chuggle takes more damage from the first hits here, and Sithari goes for the sheep instead and bails on the fight. But so the directional scout will at the very least suspect that the opponent may be in this area. Loom on the way for Sithari at 20 population here. 21 actually. Yeah, definitely suggesting a scout's build. And looking at Chuggles, looks like almost never-ending food income here. The barracks is up already though, and the militia come out. So it's not going to be scouts here, it's going to be drush or men-at-arms here then. Let's see if there's... Yep, 10 gold taken. It's going to be a drush for Chuggles here. Drush, Wolof, drush, fast castle. And that's going to be it. Sithari forward with the scout again. Villagers still no loom, but these walls are... Nope, they're only just foundation. Dangerously close to TC now. Garrison, garrison, garrison. Okay, nice damage on Sithari's scout here. Where is Juggle's scout? Is over on the enemy base, just chilling out over here. But Sisa House knows the approximate location here. And Chuggle goes for a wall all the way towards the edge here. Shouldn't be any holes here, considering it goes the straight way. I like that approach, just to make sure you don't then get any unpleasant surprises with holes on the hill here. Angry house vibes now moving forward from Chuggles for the rush here. Did Sithari see that? The barracks is kind of hidden away here, but it's not hidden nearly enough. I don't think Sithari scouted the movement here, so that's going to be a surprise. On the other hand, seeing the barracks is expecting something to happen here, and the full walls about to be completed. If not, this scout could deny it from happening. Fight on the hill here. That's a fuel-edged scout, unfortunately, so goes down. The Walling Villager goes down for Chuggles here. Still 2 villager lead though, but on the way to the fuel edge, that's going to be some going to fall behind the villagers, considering that Sithari is already up. Militia here battering away at the house, trying desperately to find a way in as a gate goes up here, so that could have been a point of entry as well. But I'm not seeing entering here as an option for Chuggles. Sithari is just going to repair the palisades or add some more to make sure that these angry housewives stay out. Scout bails on the fight, obviously, against the new Walling Villager. Might be chased by Chuggles here now. And Chuggles did have a scout inside the enemy base, so may have some idea about what's coming their way as well. No, never mind. Scout run back out. But up against Berbers, they are a cavalry civ. You may expect some scouts from the enemy. Hey, Geno. Well, you missed the first semi-final of the Gold Division in Small Tourneys here, but this is the second one. This is the Gold Division, so it's the highest elo bracket, 1300 to 1500, and this is the second match, and you'd be happy to see Tatars being picked for Ghost Lake here. Lots of Yambi sheep to be taken for Tatars here. Not even needing farms just yet, but yeah, food income seems consistent. Rush Fast Castle will still be a fast castle here for Chuggles. Now missing only 300 food to click up to that next age at what will be probably roughly 29-30 villagers, maybe a bit less. Blacksmith stable is going to be a knight's follow-up here then, most likely. Tatars have camels as well. The issue being obviously that Berbers have 20% cheaper cavalry. Militia doing work here, actually dealing some damage to those scouts of Sithari that will not be allowed passage into Chuggles' base here. You'd argue, though, that Sithari has more overall resource access here. Even if the Tatars player comes forward with some kind of ranged approach here, gold won't be easy to deny because there are 2 back golds here. Great map for Sithari overall, honestly. Another scout will go down for Sithari, but then we're likely to see Chuggles lose their initial scout here. Or not, pulls away actually. Might want to keep that scout for scouting potential later on. A little bit of a run in here, and bam, that's the death blow for that scout. Patient play from both players here, but it is of course going to be Chuggles going up first, planning for that Drush Fast Castle all along. The last militia will go down here. The only thing they've done is force some walls and force the scouts to react, so the value of that food and gold investment is arguable, but the earlier castle age cannot be underestimated here. This is Chuggles' home map after all. They have a plan going for them here. Double stable here, going to go into knights and camels, or maybe a mix of the two. That's also hidden away from Sithari for now. Now going forward to scout to see what's going on here, but may or may not see what the follow-up will be here. You would think that the Tatars would go into some ranged option and some either it be crossbows or cav archers straight away. Yeah, scout only with waypoints for now. Will not see that stable. Just missed it by one tile there, so Sithari for now is blind to whatever follow-up the opponent goes for. 5 on gold isn't really a giveaway. That would actually have you think that the opponent is going for archers. Because for double stable knights you'd need more on gold ideally to support it, but for all I know, Chuggles may have gotten gold mining as well, and then that switches up that gold income a little bit. Ooh, that looked scary for a moment, but Palisade goes up before the scout can sneak in, and it's a straight camel follow-up here for Chuggles. These players should be pretty evenly matched as well. These division caps at 1500 elo, at least upon sign up. Chuggles, as of today, is in at 1437, and Sithari with 1502 in the 1-wheel rating, so not too huge of a difference there. Camels production it is for Chuggles here, going to hunt that scout, reveal that camels are indeed coming out here, no upgrades whatsoever just now. That goes for Sithari's scouts as well. What's the follow-up here? Double stables for Sithari as well. There we go, straight for the gate. Try to break in here with a little of units that are here. Red's looking strong indeed, but red is also later to the cast age, but also with not necessarily with any eco advantage in the villagers here, but the map is undeniably strong here. 2 stables ready to produce, and with more food and gold in the bank than Chuggles currently has. Camel's not allowed through, and yeah, we'll keep the aggression out for now. I'm very surprised to see Sithari going for some knights along with the camels here, because the opponent already has camels. I mean, cast age is not that much of a difference, but if the opponent already has camels, why would you go knights? See the power of Berbers here as well. You save food and gold because your mountain units are cheaper. So you could go into the second armor upgrade earlier and get an edge in the fights here. No upgrades actually whatsoever for Chuggles just yet. There's the +1, so forging comes in first here for the camels. A bit unorthodox not to go for the defense instantly as well. Berbers should beat Tatars indeed, because Berbers have the unique unit in the camel archer, which is a cavalry counter. And they also have cheaper stable units are overall 15% less, so they should have an easier time outmassing the opponent. But the military numbers are looking strong for Chuggles now. Was earlier to the cast stage after all. Here comes the third TC as well, extending this eco now. And defending this main gold as well, which will be crucial considering the placement of the golds over here, but this one is sort of secured as well. It's just not as efficient considering it's right up against the wood line. And bonus of Tatars, when you drop new TCs, 2 sheep spawn instantly, so that's a little food boost so that saves you a couple of farms as well. Here comes the monastery as well to convert potentially enemy units or to collect the relics for extra gold income. These relics spawn really close here. That's very nice for Chuggles, having them so close to the home base and so close together. 12 to 11 military now. Here the Berbers bonus comes into play again. Upgrade +2 defense against +1/+1 here for Chuggles. I'm gonna check for wheelbarrow as well, if both players actually have it. I'd assume they do. Berbers definitely do. I think I saw Tatars getting it as well a while ago. So that should be of any significance. Sithari with 5 villagers lead as both have wheelbarrow win. Sithari did go later up to the cast stage though, so that was a point where Chuggles could have gained a little lead going into DCs earlier. You see consistent resource spending from both players though, never really keeping a lot of resources in the bank, just putting them into army and villagers as they go. Sithari with consistent triple DC production now, Chuggles currently only producing out 2, and the military numbers are dead even, however. 2 defense, no attack for Sithari, and +1/+1 for Chuggles. I actually don't know who wins this, it should be pretty even. Some quick walls may be advised, dropping a house behind here, but here's a run-in, a fight. Looks close. I can see why they both will be staying here. No particular heal advantage for either player, and looks like Chuggles with that extra attack actually takes a win in this fight with mainly Capmans after all. Weakens a lot of the units, but takes the fight. Now has a little bit of heal advantage here as well, and the numbers are now 10-9 KD, roughly similar here. Palisades and house walls here for Sithari, just to make sure the cavalry offensive of the opponent doesn't break through and harass the economy here. The only weak point may be the palisades in the back here, but you can still easily house wall behind here and keep the aggression out. I'm seeing a stone investment here for Sithari as well. Could be indicative of going into a castle, and which will probably go here to defend the main gold, and then go into camel archers to have an even easier time fighting off the enemy cavalry units. Couple of monks in the field, no relics picked up just yet, and the villager counts are pretty even between the players. This time it's Chuggles with 3 theses producing and Sithari with a little bit of idle in one of the theses here. Here comes the camel numbers though. Berber's advantage there, having cheaper numbers, easier to replenish no matter your eco situation. If you have food and gold income and the same amount of stables, you outproduce your enemy, as simple as that. Chuggles sees the camels here, backs off. Risks a conversion here on Sithari. Nice house walls here from Chuggles, still keeping the aggression out, even being slightly down in army here. I don't see any of the players going Imperial anytime soon. They're both investing a lot into army. Populations more or less dead, similar here, same with army, even though Berbers, as mentioned before, has an easier time getting to the masses. 3 stables even here for Berbers against only 2, as far as I know, for Chuggles here. So that's an issue for Chuggles to deal with. Here come the ranges. Could be thinking about skirmishers against camel archers here maybe, or simply a cab archers switch, as is appropriate for Tatars going into the Imperial Age, where their cavalry archers will really shine. Yeah, the transition is already underway actually. Few cabbages here that leave some great raiding potential. For example, down to the south here, where Sithari just expanded outside of the walls, something that Chuggles knows exists, this neutral gold here, so it could be a place to try and hit. Also with cabbages, they have a ranged attack, so if you have them in the back behind the camels, they could get some hits in on the camel masses and exploit the fact that camels have low pierce armor. Monks healing up again. I like keeping the monks close here. No relics being picked though for either player. Villager counts very even. And military numbers pretty even as well, although there are cav archers being added here for Sithari. Castle is up for Chuggles, I mean, and Castle is up for Sithari could mean camel archers as well as the game moves on. "34 camels now, 37 to 35 military." I like the cav archer addition here for Chuggles, simply because you'll have an answer against camels to more easily counter them without going into pikes with their less less mobility, the halberdiers. Then again, we're seeing Sithari on the way to the Imperial Age and Chuggles going to stay in Castle Age yet for a while longer. These camels just passing apparently. They are outnumbered here. The cav archers need to come ASAP, the monks as well, otherwise this is a horrible fight for Chuggles. +2, +2, +1, even for Chuggles. It's extremely hurtful lacking those two upgrades here now as the monks are in the mix, but these upgrades just, they have to come in ASAP, otherwise you risk huge losses. Cav archers will help out a little bit with the pierce damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough. This could be the game deciding fight here, and General might well be right here that red takes this one. We'll see. So far, nothing but camels in the production tab for Sithari though. And all in all, takes some losses here. But look at the KD, 41 to 22. Absolutely a better fight for Sithari. Obliterating almost all of the camels of Chuggles here. Chuggles now ready to click the Imperial Age. Did actually not, is committing to arm instead. Could be the right play here, trying to outmass the opponent to just reach Imperial Age. But look at Heavy Camel now coming in for Sithari. Healthy eco to back it as well, and we'll be looking at 37 Heavy Camels with Imperial upgrade soon enough. Conscription comes as well, and Plate Barding Armor. This is going to be really tough for Chuggles to handle, but with the right appropriate amount of cav archers, maybe. Right, we have a little pause here. Those things can happen. Or was it a pause resign? Who knows? I'm assuming this was a GG. Could be a restore, but it seemed a little bit. They paused. Since they paused and then quit, it could be a restore. I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask them actually. Assuming almost that this was the GG, but we'll have to see here. 41 to 22 in the end. 1300 to 11,000 something. Actually pretty strong eco overall here. Less stone, that means more castles for camel archers for Sithari. Uptime, Drush Fast Castle certainly worked out for Chuggles here, but was lacking army masses in the end for the stronger boom of the Berbers player. And villager high in the end, but still on the way to the Imperial Age could be hurtful here.